everyone. Welcome to this weekly reading for week 36 from September 3rd till September 9th. Please remember this is a general reading, and so it will not resonate with every one of you and where you are specifically in your lives right now, but it's a general reading on what is going on right now in ourselves as human beings, why we are here, and what is going on globally right now. There seems to be one of the Egyptian goddesses who keeps coming up in my mind, and I looked into it, and it was the goddess Isis, who's the mother of all gods, and she's also Virgin of the Sea, and some think that all powers that we have here on earth actually come from the sea. So if you will have true wisdom, you must dive into the sea. And she came up with a word, and it's about the individual. So please have that in mind for this week, that it's about the individual. It's about you and what is happening inside of you and what you give to the world. Please remember, we change the world by making changes within ourselves first. So that seems to be the headline for this week. Now let's look into the major arcana cards that I'm shuffling first to give us an overall view of what's going on. And afterwards, I will tell you about the minor arcana cards below each major arcana card to get us some details on the major arcana card's message. So let's take a look at the first card, and that's card number 1, the Magician. Now, what is that about? That is about creativity, eccentricity, and lightheartedness. So I feel pretty much that this is more or less, it's concentrated on our creativity. It's pretty much about what we do with our abilities as human beings, not necessarily how we use our education. Let's take a look at the first minor arcana card that came out when I asked about the details about this. And that was the King of Pentacles. And he came out upside down. Now, normally the King of Pentacles is the businessman. He's the rich guy. He's the merchant. And the Pentacles, the Pentacles is from the Earth suit, and that's about the physical world, our financial activity, our material activities, everything that regards the physical world. Now he says that we shouldn't go in that direction with the money. We shouldn't go there. Came out upside down. So it's more like we have to follow that creativity within us as human beings and let that very stressful life of business, leave that alone, and just don't go in that direction, because there's something better coming up. And I pulled another card on that to see what that was all about, and I pulled the 10 of Wands. Wands being the fire suit. It's about our physical and corporal state, and also it's about our creativity. And so 10 of Wands means that it's time for teamwork and it's time for continuous commitment. And here I feel that, this card can also mean competition, but I more or less feel that we are hung up on the continuous commitment to the creativity from the Magician. And please also remember that the Magician, it's like he can turn lead to gold. So please pay attention on the situations that you are in right now. Maybe you turn everything into a gold experience, Things might come pretty easily, and maybe you'll just find it a happy time in your life. Things are coming about, more easily than perhaps you imagined. And so 10 of Wands is telling us that we have to continue that commitment to that creativity within us. And also, please pay attention to your health. Now, we are in the month of the zodiac sign of Virgo, which is an earth sign, first of all, but it's also the sign of your health. So please pay attention to your health. So pay attention to your health and to your creativity inside of you. It's very important that you keep that path, because if we take the path of King of Pentacles, the rich guy and the money and the business and all that stressful life, perhaps our bodies won't be able to make it. Okay, we can't take all that kind of stress. Our bodies are just They just can't take it. So please pay attention to your physical health. Now, to see if there was an overall message for this, I pulled the last card from the main arcana deck. It was the Eight of Pentacles. Now, Pentacles again being from the Earth suit, about the physical world, and now the Eight of Pentacles bring you autonomy, improving your knowledge on how to live your financial life and your material life. You know, like you might be thinking about if there will be money enough, if you'll have roof over your head and money enough for food and all that. And you will be your own master, okay? So there is nothing to worry about, actually. We will learn how to bring success into our lives by respecting our health. That is what the Ten of Wands cards is telling us. That we all have certain physical limits that we cannot cross if we want to stay alive, you know. That's how serious it is. So our bodies start to resonate with old wisdom that we all have stored in our DNA. And that's what our bodies are starting to respond to, which is why we cannot do everything in the exact same pace physically, to take a break once in a while that we haven't been used to, you know, maybe redirect our whole job situation. Maybe look into other fields of jobs, job opportunities that will correspond more or less with our health. Now let's move to the next major arcana card. And actually, as you can see, it's a card from the minor arcana deck. And I was pretty sure that every card in my major arcana deck was all that there was no other cards but cards from the major arcana. But obviously, a card from the minor arcana deck had snuck in. And now I don't believe in coincidences, so I was told that this card is gonna make it out for one of the major arcana cards up here, which is why we're putting it up here. And the card that came out was the Knight of Chalices. Now he came out upside down. So what is he trying to tell us? First of all, Chalices is the water suit. So it's about our emotions, our psychic nature, our spirituality and sensitivity. Now, normally he's a friend and a fresh energy coming in, like falling in love for the first time, that kind of rush energy. But he came out upside down. So it's telling us that we're not really into that kind of outgoing energy, at least not yet. We are just kind of laid back at the moment, you know. We're not rushing things. We're not in that forward moving position yet. The night energy is also the symbol of a little bit immature energy. So we are not in that just forward rushing mood yet. And so I asked what that was about from the Minor Arcana deck, and the card that came out was Six of Chalices. Now again, chalices being the water suit, so we're staying in our emotions and our psychic nature. And so Six of Chalices is telling us that we are more or less into return to the past, our dreams, our memories. Like I said before, a little let back kind of attitude right now. So that's where we're at right now. And I pulled another card on that, and that was the Four of Swords. Now, swords being the air suit. It's about our thoughts, our psychological and intellectual state. So Four of Swords telling us that we prefer isolation and preoccupation for ourselves on a mental realm. So that's where we are at right now. So let's look at the last card, the Major Arcana card, to see what this is all about, if we can get a little bit more information about this. And I pulled the Empress, Major Arcana card number 3, the Empress. And we seem to be pulling that a lot lately in my readings, both number 2, the High Priestess, and this number 3, the Empress. These two cards are, for me, when I pull them, they're always surrounded by enormously motherly love, okay? So I seem to be pulling that card quite a lot. So something is telling us that we please remember to have that and find that motherly divine love within ourselves. Please remember that we are always loved, no matter what the surroundings are telling us. So go inside and connect with that motherly divine love we have. The Empress is about our intelligence. It's about understanding. It's about fertility, you know, planting seeds um, to start something new in our lives. And it's about beneficial influence. So we are opening up to all that right now. We're starting to be smart about that motherly divine love inside of us. She's telling us that. So we're definitely on the right course here. But let's see what the Minor Arcana cards have to see if they have to tell us something more about this, some more details on this. And the first card I pulled was Eight of Wands. Now, wands being the fire suit about our physical and corporeal state. And so the Eight of Wands telling us that it's about starting new projects, having expectations, start planning, start purchasing something. The number 8 is also about endless possibilities. It's about power, actually. And it's again, I feel that it's pretty much about our creative activity here. Please also remember your health, but everything will come about just right if we remember to open up to the Empress energy about our understanding of things, being receptive, planting new seeds, and just opening up to all that divine energy coming into our lives and build our lives on that in our physical world. Now I pulled another Minor Arcana card for more details on this, and I pulled Four of Wands. Now Wands that tells us that we're still on the physical corporeal state. We're still in the fire suit. So it's also about, like I said before, our creativity. So Four of Wands is telling us about alliances, reward, society, well-deserved rest and tranquility. It's like, you know, if you have that dream to live in a house in the countryside, kind of tranquility. And 4 is also the number for Mercury, the planet Mercury, which is about communication. So maybe we have to start communicate with the society around us, our surroundings, and maybe to go into alliances, be open to cooperate with that. First of all, I feel it's that divine energy we have inside of us, to start working with that, cooperate with that, and then we will see it automatically in our physical surroundings. We will start to embrace people around us in teamworks. And also the number 4 is telling us that we can build our hopes and dreams now on solid ground. It's within reach now. And so let's see what that is all about. So I pulled the last Minor Arcana card, and I pulled the Queen of Chalices. Now, chalices, we're still in the spirituality. We're still in our psychic abilities, our emotions, our sensitivity. So the Queen of Chalices, she is a symbol of a lover, wife, or a sincere friend. She is a symbol of foresight and sensitivity. So that tells us that by going inside, we will find all that. We will be aligned with that great divine energy inside of ourselves to manifest things and new projects in the world around us, in our physical surroundings. So we find our own best friend by going within, to be in that realm of our psychic abilities and our emotions and our spirituality. Like I said before, we are starting to move in that direction globally as human beings. We are thinking things over how to live our lives. You know, could I live my life in a different way? Do I have to have this job where I'm so busy all the time, where I don't have time for my family or my friends, and I don't have a job where I really dream about, where I'm not capable of living out my dreams. So we're starting to think about that. Um, Now to see if there is any additional details on this week and how all this will come about, I looked at the bottom card on each deck after pulling the cards for the reading. And first of all, from the Major Arcana deck, in the bottom there was the Chariot. And it's about success. It's about our ability to lead. It's about spiritual or material development, and it's great ambitions. So if we just follow our divine voice within, we will reach success. And to see if there was any more details on this one, I looked at the bottom card from the Minor Arcana deck, and there was the Seven of Wands. Now, Wands being the fire suit. Now we're on a physical, corporal level. It's about our creativity, as I mentioned before. Now, Seven of Wands, it's about initial results. It's about completion of the first part of an undertaking, and that leads us back to the Eight of Wands in relation with the Empress, about starting new projects. So if we just follow our hearts and our inner voice, then we will complete something. We will complete the first part of new projects, whatever that might be in your life. That can be in your private life, in your work life, the situations with your friends, everything. And we will all succeed with the first part of that. So we have wands a lot in this reading, and that is about our creativity, and it is about our health. Start listening to what our bodies are telling us to do, instead of just commanding our bodies to do something that we really never dreamed of anyway. That's not the right path for us to follow. We are definitely going in, like I mentioned before, in that direction of thinking about living smart, on a world scale, beginning to understand that if we are to survive on this planet together, we need to be more sensitive to towards ourselves and towards other people. Just to get one extra word for this week and how it will all proceed, I pulled an extra guidance card, an angel card from a deck written and drawn by Kathy Tyler and Joy Drake. And the one word I pulled was understanding. Now, as you can see, it's an angel, and she's reading a book. Now, if we go back to the Empress that we pulled before, card number 3 from the Major Arcana, then she was all about understanding and receptiveness and opening up to that divine love that we all have inside, and about planting new seeds in our lives. So maybe we need to read something, look stuff up on the internet, or start reading books about whatever we have always dreamed to know about. um, so really try to open up and see what that divine energy inside of you is telling you to do, and go into that, and try to understand what's going on a global level within all these changes that's going on. And it will be sort of a kind of a beneficial influence. So please remember that for this week too, understanding and individual, because like I said before, we can only change the world if we start to change from within at first. So I'm gonna leave it at that, wishing you all a happy, joyful, divine week. Wishing you all the very best, and I will tune in again very soon. If you would like a personal reading, please feel free to contact me on my email, and I will get back to you as soon as I can. Thank you for watching and for listening.